Now this is what you call controversy. Oh my god. And we're going to go through it. Okay, we got a lot of categories here. Great players for the last 13, 14 seasons. 2010 to 2023. Now, I think the important thing to note is the way I'm going to judge this is off a couple of things. Their prime, their overall career. It has to include accolades, unfortunately. So players like... Has anyone not won a flag here? Eddie Betts, you've got to take that into account. Longevity or body of work. So in the 14 seasons, how good were they? And a bunch of other things. First of all, the GOAT category is perfect. It should be those three. Gary Ablett, arguably one of the greatest players of all time. Buddy Franklin, arguably one of the greatest forwards of all time. And Dustin Martin, the greatest finals player of all time. The greatest grand final player of all time. One of the greatest big game players of all time. So that's simple. My big problem comes with legend. For me, I would like to put Selwood in that legend category alongside Dangerfield and bring Dane Swan down. The unfortunate thing is I'm going to stick to 3-4-4-4-4. So one of Selwood, Pendles, Hodge, Fife, and Danger will not be in the legend category. First things first, Dane Swan is not in the legend category. Hodge and the others are much better. For me, Hodge has to be a legend. One of the greatest captains of all time. 4 flags, has to be in there. As is Pendles. I think Pendles just has to be in there. As does Fife and Danger, which means, unfortunately, Selwood, can he miss out? I think for Selwood, he won 2 flags during this time period. You know what? I'm going to be extremely controversial and put Nat Fife into the iconic class because his body has just let him down for the last few years. And yes, he's won 2 Brownlows, which is more than Pendles and Selwood. But the longevity of Selwood and Pendles being some of the greatest captains of their club's history, both winning flags, Fife hasn't won a flag. And for that, he goes in iconic, which means Danger and Selwood move up, Swan and Fife move down. In the iconic section, I quite like it. Actually, it's completely incorrect. The iconic category is getting switched up. I would have Dane Swan, Nat Fife in iconic alongside Silverioli and Jack Riewoldt. Jack Riewoldt has got 3 Commons in that time period, 3 flags, one of the greatest. If Buddy doesn't exist, he's the greatest forward for the last 20 years. But unfortunately, Buddy does exist. So you can't really say that. But I do think Mitchell and Rance have to go down a class, which means the class category is Mitchell, Alex Rance. I mean, 2 Brownlows, you just have to put Lockie Neal in class. You just have to. So Lockie Neal has to go in class, which means I'm probably going to be moving... I'm going to be moving Eddie Betts down to great just because he hasn't won the flag. I know that's really harsh, but I'm taking accolades into account, which means the great category is Bont, McGovern, Kennedy, and Eddie Betts. Why McGovern's in here over players like Matty Scarlett, over players... maybe he's actually worthy of being there, but I feel like, there are some players missing out. Bont's in there, how come Bont's in there? But, why isn't someone like a Cochin in there, who's obviously done great things? Matt Prittis has won a Brownlow. Why isn't the likes of Mitchell? I don't know, but look, that's my overall perception on this. Fucking lovely graphic here. Go follow AFL Paradise.